Imagine coming out a bad contract, right? You don't know how much money you making each day. They don't tell you how much you making. You got to figure that out at the end of the day. You can't find out right then and there what you doing. So you just got to rip and run and then call later and they tell you $170, right? So for me, I saw on Indeed, I'm looking around and I'm seeing 1,500 guaranteed every week, right? No surprise. You already know what it is. So I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? That's every week, 4 times a week. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. What it is? Staples. I put in the application. They give me a call. They tell me to show up for training. I ask what time. They say 5. I'm like, all right, bet. They're like, yeah, just so you're clear, 5 a.m. I'm like, excuse me? Right? I've never gotten up early like that in my life. Now, gig work, searching for gig work, yeah. Because there'll be times where I go to bed late and I'll get a curry or I'll get this or I'll get a dispatch and it'll be 3 in the morning. Somebody needs something first thing in the morning, $200. It was so bad that you wanted to be the first person to your phone. So I literally kept my phone unlocked just so I can leave the apps open, hoping and praying that something will pop up and I can just click it immediately and catch it for somebody else. That's how bad it got, right? So prior to that, I've never just gotten up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was never like, something that I ever envisioned or wanted to do. But I'm like, all right, if you want to be successful, you just can't get up when you want to get up. You got to handle your business. I go there 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to figure out where to park because all these box trucks, cargo vans, cars, all these people are SUVs. All these people are trying to load up and grab as much shit as possible. Now, I go in there, I find a bay. I go there and they're like, yo, you got to move because, it's seniority based. So all the OGs and the people that been here, they got to load up first. Okay, I move. I go back in. I'm looking at all this different stuff, all these different things. People got trash cans. People got a bunch of paper, a whole lot of paper. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of water, right? I'm talking about a lot of water, like a pallet of water. You feel me? They have like 7, 8 pallets. Some water, paper. I don't think y'all realize how heavy, paper is, water is. You see what I'm saying? You got to scan each item. And if the pallet is not there, you got to find it, right? You got to scan all 100 items. You got to put in order your stops in your route or whatever, right? Like I said, people scanning a whole lot of paper, a lot of water, because you're delivering to offices, you're delivering to people, residential offices, hospitals, all that stuff. Huge trash cans, big office chairs, big office appliances, you know what I'm saying? Office furniture, shit that's heavy, you feel me? They tell me to wait in the room. I wait in the room until like 7:30, 8 o'clock. The guy sees me at 9. He's telling me the situation that was going on. I finally get my manifest. The manifest is pretty much all the items that you have and the addresses where you gotta go and the time. By this time, it's 10 o'clock. I got there at 5 in the fucking morning. That's 5 hours. That's like a shift. Just waiting around is a shift. Then you gotta load up. It's gonna take you almost 2 hours to load up. I didn't leave out of there loaded up until 12 o'clock. A lot of these businesses, they close by 5. And some after the pandemic closed by 4 or 3. And you got to drive 40-something minutes just to get to where you got to go. And then you might have to drive another 40-something minutes after you deal with these stops. You might be in the city, out of the city, residential, offices, Hospitals, you never know. If you got to go downtown, you got to deal with downtown parking. You got to deal with downtown traffic. You got to deal with figuring out where you are. You've never been here before. And if your first time going to a hospital, it's terrible. It's so easy to get lost in the hospital. All my folks that's in the medical field, they know what I'm talking about. It's one of the most difficult places to figure out. Hospitals and apartment complex. Because just because the map leads you there, it doesn't necessarily tell you where these houses are. And some houses can be in the tuck. Some offices can be in the tuck. Your service can be bad. It could be terrible. You leave your van outside for too long, you get a ticket. If you leave it, if they have a dock, you can leave it in there, but that's still a hassle. It's terrible. I was getting up at 5 in the morning, waiting there for 5 hours to get seen or to get a slot because everybody else got to get their shit off before you. And you're floating. You normally come in as a floater. You don't have a route. You don't have a guaranteed route. These guys that have guaranteed route, they know their route. They know where to go. They know that everything is easy and smooth. If you're floating, you could be in Jersey today, AC tomorrow, Philadelphia, DC. It could be anywhere, right? Terrible. When I say this shit is heavy, it's heavy. When I say, like, if you got a cargo van to a dock, it's always going to be that space. So you got to lift down, pull down. It's horrible, right? Waiting there for 5 hours for a shift is horrible. The labor is horrible. And here's the worst part about it. If you can't deliver the shit to somebody, you got to either bring it back that night or bring it back at 5 o'clock in the morning the next day. Which means when you get there, you got to find a dock. When it's crowded, you got to unload all the shit you couldn't deliver. Wait 5 hours and then load up even more shit. Or be out there all night for $1,500 every week. Y'all tell me if that's worth it. I did this shit for 2 months. Couldn't do it no more. What did I learn from that? Hard work. Consistency. Learning how to figure out how to maneuver through any apartment complex. Learning how to maneuver through any hospital is what I learned. And I took from that situation. Right? Seeing how them people talk to them crazy, but they'll talk to you crazy to finish your day in there. Terrible. People stealing, people getting locked up. Yeah, Stables was a wild John, was a wild place. And that led me to my next contract.